So how are we going to do this project? We have to include all these standards.
Well, we could do a video about character development. We could mention how the father's character kind of evolves from being, he's kind of evasive, from being closed up, and then in the end, he kind of opens up. And I think he becomes more honest in a way. Because in the beginning he lies, remember?
I remember.
Yeah. I mean, an example of when he was lying, we could use an example of when he was lying and to when he became honest. Like, when he was lying, was when Christopher found the letters, and he asked his dad about it, and the dad kept lying, and then he finally told him the truth, and he also lied about killing the dog. So, and in the end, he tells the truth.
Yeah. He's a little bit of an introvert, I'd say.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, he seems all caring and trustworthy. And as the book goes on, you see that he's still caring, but he's not as trustworthy as we thought he was. And he can be very frustrated, and he's kind of selfish to keep Christopher to himself and not allow him to see his mother. And he's a very round character. He's more round character than Christopher is.
Yeah, I mean, how about we compare some like traits, and similarities and differences for Christopher and his dad real quick.
Okay.
So, Christopher. And his dad. So Christopher is overall very, well, he's not trusting at all. And he kind of doesn't trust information to be true without like proof. So he kind of needs, he needs proof.
Yeah, like how he doesn't believe in God or trust his dad after he tells Christopher that he killed Wellington.
Yeah. And I think the father is much more trusting than Christopher. He has to be, because trust is kind of an important part of any relationship, basically. And in his relationship with Christopher, the trust isn't earning from, like, it isn't earning from Christopher's
Because
side.
Christopher isn't very trusting.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of his father's fault, because he hasn't proved himself to be trustworthy.
Yeah. Maybe that's one of the reasons why his father was like very deeply hurt when his wife left him. Enough so to deceive Christopher. And was he was just very deeply hurt, I guess. And when Christopher left him to find his,
Yeah.
when Christopher left him to find his mom, it kind of hurt him even more.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, yeah, he trusted them not to leave. What else? Christopher is intelligent. Here, why don't you write? I'm not aware of you. He's precise. He's very unsympathetic, I guess. Not very emotional. Shy. Wow. Having this neurological disconnection totally changes not only his way of thinking, but really who he is as a person.
Yeah.
I wonder what he would be like without it.
Well, Christopher, I think he seems like a pretty static character. So I'm going to say static.
Yeah. What are some more characteristics of the father, or maybe some similarities between them?
Well, where Christopher is unemotional, his father is quite the opposite. He is extremely emotional. Even when he tries to hide it, He acts on his emotions. So he acts on emotions. Pulling out the Venn diagram. Like, an example is when he hits Christopher across the face, or when he kills Wellington. Like, he just put it out there.
I think he's a lot more caring than Christopher. He's looked after Christopher his entire life, and only to have Christopher not trust him at all. So that's pretty much without any gain on his part.
Yeah. They're both pretty unforgiving. Oh, okay. Unforgiving. Oops. I think Christopher is gonna have a hard time forgiving his father, which is why his father is trying to gain his trust again. I mean, and Christopher's father never forgave his wife for leaving him, but I think that eventually he will. So like it's kind of hard for him, hard to forgive. Oh, this is very bad handwriting. Others.
Same with the dad, but I guess that's
really?
the same as unforgiving. Well, I mean,
oh yeah,
he's still mad at his.
Oh yeah, it's the same
wife.
thing.
Yeah.
Oops.
Whoops. Okay. I guess we talked about before. Christopher's father is kind of selfish for wanting to keep Christopher for himself and wanting to keep out his mother in his life. In a way, it kind of reminds me of the contrast between the man and the boy in the road, except here, Christopher is the one who's distant and unemotional and brilliant, and his father is the one who's caring and emotional and trusting. Oh, you can put selfish here, I guess.
He's selfish?
He is selfish.
And I'm gonna reiterate my idea that he's a pretty static character.
I think he's more selfish. I'm not more selfish. More static than his father, but he does change. He's braver in the end. He gains his courage.
I don't think he really changed much. I mean, he still thinks the same way, kind of like his view on the world doesn't change in the end. And he's basically a realist. And I mean, he stays a realist.
That's true.
From the beginning to the end.
That may be true, but he does things that he wouldn't have normally done. Like he goes all the way to London to find his mother. He goes through the train station with all the strangers being chased by the police. He goes to save Toby from getting run over by the subway. And I don't think he would have done any of that had he not gone on this adventure, had he not developed.
I think the only reason why he did that was because his dad liked him. And I mean, that doesn't necessarily change his character, because we haven't seen him in this we haven't seen like this reaction before, because he's never been put in this situation.
All I'm saying is that by the end of the novel, Christopher has taken more risks than he would have otherwise. And those risks resulted in his greatest accomplishments and overall happiness.
Well, that could be a theme. Taking risks result in your greatest accomplishments.
That's good. Just like Christopher's mother took the risk to leave Mr. Shears. I mean, she didn't know where she was going to go afterwards, and she gave up her whole relationship with him. But it was for Christopher and Christopher's comfort and safety. And so, even though that was a big risk for her, in the end she ended up really happy because she got to be with their son again.
So, how would we incorporate this into the video? Earlier we were talking about character development. I mean, what we were saying earlier would kind of match the standard 12, right? But this falls into standard 11.
Oh, themes?
Yeah, themes, basically.
Well, we have to hit all of them, so why not kill 3 birds with 1 stone?
How?
Well, if we include all that stuff, which standards do we have left to hit still?
Well, we kind of already have standards 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I mean, the only things that we need are kind of at the end of our project, like number 4.
Well, what about number 2? Digital media?
Digital.
Okay.
Well, like I said, we could do a video. That incorporates the digital media.
And we could make use of some visual too, like our Venn diagram earlier. We could use that to present our information. But the real question is, we still don't know what we're going to do. So what is our project actually going to be?
I've got it. Why don't we just include everything we just said by doing a video about how we should do our project? Okay, dance.
Well, what about number 2? Digital media?
Digital.
Okay.
How would we incorporate this into the video? I mean, we started talking about character development. I mean, what we're saying earlier.